You came to LA this week to peek into the future. But if all you want is next generation, you're in the wrong place. Because what you'll see from Nintendo is not just next. Instead, it's what's absolutely new. What we're unveiling is the next leap in gaming, to a place where playing is no longer just about looks, it's about the feel. Where it's no longer confined to just a few, it's about everyone. And most of all, the next leap is not about what you see, because what you see is not always what you get. The next leap is about playing, because playing is believing.
There are very few franchises that can completely redefine an entire genre multiple times. I mean, most games only get, one revolutionary entry. Mario got several. From the moment Mario jumped into the third dimension in 1996. I'm just being honest with y'all. Nintendo basically turned every new 3D Mario game into an experiment. Sometimes that experiment became one of the greatest games ever made. Sometimes it became one of the most controversial. But every single game pushed the series forward in some way. Today we're looking at the entire history of 3D Mario games, from the Nintendo 64 all the way up to the Nintendo Switch. But before we get into anything, we need to talk about the console that made it all possible, the Nintendo 64.
World. We won't go in one direction
or zig where we can zag.
We will walk through walls.
We will take a look around us.
We will not be confined.
We believe in the path of least limits.
We won't be told how to view the world.
We will experience true freedom.
We will not compromise. We will live the game through our hands.
We will be in control of something.
We will change the system.
The mid-90s was a strange time for the gaming industry. For years, gaming had been dominated by 2D experiences. I mean, you had games like Mario, Sonic, Mega Man, Donkey Kong. I mean, honestly, man, people in the mid-90s was eating good. Developers had mastered, side-scrolling gameplay, but technology was, evolving rapidly, and everyone wanted to know what gaming would look like in 3 dimensions, you know what I'm saying? In 1996, Nintendo released the Nintendo 64. The 64 introduced the analog stick to millions of players, something that feels completely normal today, but back then, it changed everything. For the first time, players had precise movement in a 3D space. You could walk slowly, run quickly, change direction smoothly. That level of control was exactly what Nintendo needed if Mario was ever going to work in 3D. The Nintendo 64 wasn't just another console launch. It was Nintendo's gamble on the future, and lucky for them, they had the perfect game to show the world what that future could really look like. It's honestly hard to overstate how important Super Mario 64 is, because before Mario 64 there wasn't really a blueprint for 3D platformers. The story begins with Princess Peach inviting Mario to her castle for cake. When Mario arrives, Bowser has taken over the castle and stole the Power Stars. To save the kingdom, Mario must jump into magical paintings and recover the stars hidden inside. Nintendo introduced free movement, dynamic camera controls, open-ended worlds, and multiple objectives inside of a single stage. Things that felt completely normal today were groundbreaking in 1996. Okay, sidebar. And not gonna lie, bro. By the way, the gameplay, that's my gameplay in the background. Not even gonna lie, I kind of feel bad for bro.
It makes me so mad. We build your houses and your castles, we pave the roads, and you still walk all over us.
Once I read it, I was like, I gotta make a decision.
Here we go!
Without Mario 64, the entire 3D platform and genre probably looks a little bit different. Nintendo didn't just make a great game, they created the blueprint. Following the success of N64, Nintendo needed a console that could compete in a rapidly changing gaming landscape. 2001, they released the Nintendo GameCube, a small purple cube-shaped console that, looked unlike anything else on the market. And if I'm to be honest, it was Nintendo's strangest looking systems. But besides it looking weird from the last console, this console has some surprisingly powerful hardware. The GameCube featured impressive graphics, faster load times, and more processing power than the N64 did. Nintendo wanted developers to have an easier time creating games while still maintaining the company's focus on fun and creativity. Now, all of this does sound great until you find out the competition had gotten way much stronger.
Not yet rated. Rated E for everyone, or T for teens.
At the same time Nintendo launched the GameCube, Sony was already dominating the gaming world with the PS2. And when I say dominating, I mean they were dominating. Like, think about it. The PS2 wasn't just a gaming console, it was also a DVD player, which was a huge deal in the early 2000s. Many families bought a PS2 simply because it was cheaper than purchasing a separate DVD player. As a result, Sony sold consoles at an incredible pace. Meanwhile, Microsoft entered the console market with the original Xbox. Nintendo suddenly found itself fighting two major competitors instead of one. But instead of trying to outmuscle Sony and Microsoft, Nintendo stuck to what it knows best: innovation. While competitors focused heavily on realism and mature experiences, Nintendo doubled down on colorful worlds, unique gameplay ideas, and family-friendly experiences. Nintendo games were successful because they looked realistic. They were successful because they felt different, and nowhere was that philosophy more obvious than the GameCube's lineup. Even though the GameCube sold fewer units than its competitors, it's quietly built one of the strongest game libraries Nintendo had ever assembled. That's in my opinion. Some of the most beloved, the beloved Nintendo games of all time were released during this era. Games like Super Smash Bros. Melee, Metroid Prime, The Legend of Zelda, Windbreaker, Mario Kart Double Dash, Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door. Like, I'm just naming stuff off the top of my dome. At the time, some of these games were criticized for being too cartoony or too different. Today, many people consider these games as damn masterpieces. When it came time to create Mario's next big adventure, Nintendo wasn't interested in simply making Super Mario 64 again. They had already changed game at once. Who's to say they can't do it again? This is a game that remains as one of the most unique entries in the franchise till this day. One of the most interesting things about Sunshine's development is that Nintendo wasn't trying to recreate Mario 64. Much like the development of Mario 64, the team started by experimenting the movement and gameplay concepts. Nintendo wanted Mario to feel different, not just look different. During development, the team became fascinated with the idea of water as a gameplay mechanic. This eventually evolved into Flood. Like, man, when I tell y'all, Flood completely changed how Mario moved in this game. Players could hover around, they could spray enemies, clean surfaces. Like, you could never tell me that I would ever play a Mario game where I'm just cleaning shit. Like, man, just playing this game, you could tell they wanted players to learn a completely new way to interact with the world on this game. You could just tell, bruh. The story begins with Princess Peach and Mario, pretty much just on a vacation. And honestly, Mario deserved one. They pretty much pull up to this island. They discover the island has been covered in graffiti and pollution. Even worse, the culprit looks exactly just like Mario. The mysterious figure becomes known as Shadow Mario. As a result, Mario was blamed for the destruction and sentenced to clean up the island, which is wild because, bro, do you not see this blue guy right here? They look like two different people. Maybe I'm tweaking. These are two different niggas. One nigga got color to him and the other nigga just blue. I don't know. That's video game plot for you? I don't fucking know. As you progress in the story, Mario finally discovers that Shadow Mario was actually Bowser Jr. And in one of the franchise's biggest reveals at the time, Bowser Jr. believes Princess Peach is his mother. Pretty much after that, Mario finally defeats Bowser and Bowser Jr. and restores the island and clears his name. So it's pretty much, you know, just clearing your name from wrongdoing, because we all know Mario didn't make that mess.
Junior, I've got something difficult to tell you about Princess Peach.
I know, she's not really my mama. Someday, when I'm bigger, I wanna fight that Mario again.
That's my boy. Well put, son. The Royal Koopa line is as strong as ever. But for now, let's just rest a while.
The vacation starts now.
Wait, if Bowser Jr. and Bowser could talk, why did they get rid of that in future games? What the fuck? I mean, I just thought about it.
Let me just say that on behalf of the names you love from Nintendo and our partners, we can't wait to show you what's on the way.
After the GameCube generation, Nintendo found itself in a difficult position again. The GameCube had some incredible games, but compared to Sony's PS2, it wasn't exactly dominating the market. Nintendo realized completely, purely, graphics wasn't on, it just wasn't working. So instead of making a powerful console, they made a different one in 2006. Nintendo launched the Wii, a console built around motion controls and accessibility. The Wii Remote transformed gaming into something almost anyone could understand. You didn't need years of gaming experience, you just didn't. You could simply point, swing, and play. And you could understand how everything is supposed to really just go, how everything is supposed to play. I mean, think about it, man. Families loved it. Casual players loved it. Even people who had never touched a video game before were suddenly buying the Wii. So you gotta understand how the market was when the Wii came out. Everybody and their mama wanted a Wii. For any reason. The result was over 100 million consoles sold worldwide. Nintendo had created a cultural phenomenon. And one of the biggest reasons for that success would arrive just 1 year later. The story begins during the Mushroom Kingdom Star Festival, a celebration held every 100 years. Peach invites Mario to join the festivities, and if you've ever played a Mario game before, you already know where this is all gonna go. Bowser attacks, but this time he isn't just kidnapping Peach. He's taking entire chunks of the Mushroom Kingdom into space. Bowser plans to create his own galaxy and, rule his own universe. To stop him, Mario is launched into outer space where he encounters a mysterious woman by the name of Rosalina. Rosalina lives aboard the Comet Observatory alongside creatures known as Lumas, pretty much stars. Together, Mario and Rosalina travel across galaxies collecting power stars in order to restore power to the observatory. Compared to previous Mario stories, Galaxy felt much more cinematic. There was a greater sense of scale, a greater sense of wonder. And I gotta say, for many players, Rose instantly became one of Nintendo's most beloved characters. I mean, man, what made this game really stand out was the fact that you can walk upside down, jump between worlds, and just navigate environments that seemed impossible. Like just jumping around from planet to planet. It's a crazy experience for a Mario game. Every level, I want to say, felt like a playground of ideas. 1 minute you're surfing, the next you're balancing on tiny planets floating through space and shit. I mean, it's pretty crazy when you really look back and just think about it. Nintendo constantly introduced new concepts and rarely let them overstay their welcome. And hey man, I gotta say, it's nothing to hate on this game for. It's just nothing to hate on it. By the way, Galaxy 2 was also amazing, but I'm just kind of going over the foundation. But it's not really much for me to say in this video anymore, because I could have did a full breakdown on this game right here, but I'm kind of like, bro, nah, this video a little too long, and editing is already going to take a long process as it is. This video is not going to do views, so I might as well get this shit over with. But look, with all that said, man, I hope y'all, had a good time going through memory lane with me. I like, I usually talk about my cartoon shit, but I also love talking about video games I grew up with, especially the games that piqued my interest as a kid. And now that I'm grown up, I still enjoy playing these games still to this day. But hey, man, y'all look out for them Sonic vids. Sonic vids is going to be coming soon. I can't promise when, but I'm going to just say it's coming soon. And yeah, man, I'm pretty tired. So with all that said, peace.